It's the start of a new year, and you see everybody on their Instagram story posting their resolutions for the year 2025. You wonder to yourself, how the hell do these people know what they want to get out of life? You're just sitting there, thinking, wondering, what do they have what I don't? You just reflected on their previous year, and you got jack shit done. You're still the same. You're still in the same position, doing the same habits. And all the goals that you have written down on your whiteboard, they aren't ticked off. And so seeing these people being so optimistic about their New Year's resolution makes you feel worse about yourself. So you're wondering, is this how I'm going to enter the next year? Is it going to be just another year where I'm lost and unsure about what I want to do and where I want to go? Where I'm not confident, where I'm alone, where I don't have the people that I want to have around me? Well, you don't have to, because I myself have been through that. Way too many times even. Over the last couple of years, I've managed to learn myself what I needed to do and do eventually that what was necessary for me to get where I wanted to go, to get closer to where I wanted to go. And let me tell you straight up what that was. What I needed to do was to act when I'm afraid, when I'm insecure, when I didn't know what I was going to do, when I was lost, when I didn't know where my actions would lead me to. Acting when I knew that my skills weren't where I wanted them to be yet. Yet so far, this has proven to have a 100% success rate. It's impossible to not figure out where you have to be if you don't take action, because sitting there so far hasn't got you to do anything. And it didn't get me to do anything either. Not acting led me to be in depression for many years. Not acting led me to feeling alone, lonely. Watching everybody while I'm sitting on the sideline, while they're in the action, they're out in the fight, they're out in the wild, and I'm just standing there looking at the game. When I could be the person who is standing there with them, fighting my own battles, but I'm not. I'm just watching them. And just watching didn't help me. And I was genuinely ashamed of seeing no growth, of being still the same person that I was before. Still playing games, still watching porn, still smoking weed, still watching Netflix, although I knew that it wasn't going to help me. I would be in a dark room, all lights turned off. I would simply go to work, get home, watch content, do the same thing over and over again. Say that I want to be the greatest artist in Belgium, but eventually not becoming that because I just wasted my time doing nothing worthwhile. And then I was like, okay, I need to do something. I say that I want to make music. I say that I want to get it done. So I have to take some action. And so I was on YouTube watching a video, and there was this engineer who said, yeah, join my Discord group. And there you can meet up with a lot of different people who are also making music. And I joined that group. I usually didn't do that. I joined that group, and I saw a guy, his name was Dennis, and he made interesting music. Like, he was a producer, and I wrote lyrics, and I said, hey, want to make some music? I just randomly messaged him, and we eventually got into contact, and I found out that he's from Boston. I was like, oh man, that's super cool. And I told him, oh yeah, I live in Belgium. There's like a 6 hours difference in time, but it doesn't matter. We can get to work. And he sent me beats, and I just started to write on them, and I saw him like my brother, and we were just having fun. He sent me beats, and we eventually decided to like make an album, which I never released, but I'll link the tape in the description box. So it will be the first link in the description box. You can check that out and listen to the music that we have made, which was actually really good music. It was music when I was in one of my darkest times of my life that wouldn't have gotten to be a reality if I didn't take action to change myself, to take action when I didn't know what I was going to do. And that moment was the beginning of building up momentum, because I then started to take music more serious, and eventually it got me to release music eventually. It got me confident enough to start releasing music, to start posting content that was related to that. I've made quite a couple of posts that I genuinely loved, and that was also my introduction to content creation. And then I saw like, oh, I'm actually quite good at this, and I actually enjoy making content, you know? I love making things that have like somewhat of a story to them. I like making things that can inspire people. At the later stages of my music, I wanted to inspire people as well. In the beginning, it was more like just me expressing myself. And it still was me expressing myself, actually similarly to these YouTube videos where I express myself. But at the same time, I want to inspire you to be better, to do better, to grow and to become the person that you desire to be. And then eventually in the year 2024, I decided to quit making music because it wasn't aligned to my values anymore. I then, a couple of months later, decided to like experiment with YouTube videos and to make like long form videos. And then I also started to like make TikTok videos and everything. And eventually it got me to the point where I am today, where I'm consistently uploading YouTube videos, where I kind of know where I want to go with myself. And still I'm unsure of what the future will bring. Still I'm unsure of where I will end up. But I wouldn't have been here if I just didn't take the action that was necessary. I acted when I was insecure. I acted when I was afraid. I acted when I had a lot of challenges facing me. Like when I had a lot of challenges that were coming at me. I did it and I'm here with a big smile on my face. And you know, when you take action, you will face doubts, you will face insecurities. That's resistance. Resistance is that voice in the back of your mind that will tell you that you shouldn't do something and that you need to have something else set in place first. No, you shouldn't record YouTube videos because, you know what? You don't know how to talk properly. These are thoughts that I was genuinely having. And I still have them, but I just simply override those thoughts to produce the YouTube videos that I want to produce. Because resistance is not my ruler. I am the ruler of resistance. I acknowledge resistance. I know that it's here. I know that it can take me out at any time if I drop my guard. So I have to keep my guard up. And it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit to take action when you don't know the answer yet. To take action when you are insecure. Because you don't allow your emotions, your thoughts, your fears to dictate where you want to end up. And you simply just rely on the inputs that you put in, and that will then provide you with the outputs that you desire. If you would listen to ourselves and even to other people who would tell us, no, don't do that because you need this, then we won't grow. And that leads to inactivity. That leads to overthinking. That leads to becoming depressed. That leads to becoming unhappy. And we don't want that. We want to become the greatest version of ourselves. And the only way to become the greatest version of ourselves is to discard all of those things, to override all of those things, to stand on top of them, to still do it. And the only way that you can get there, to come to a point where you're like kind of confident in doing that, is by doing it. Like even when writing music, I didn't know what to write music about. Like even in the later stages of me being an artist, of me making music, I just sat down. I didn't know what I wanted to write about. I just started to write or just started to freestyle. And eventually something came out of that. And then I had like 3 verses in a 4-hour session that I had for myself. Like that's insane. And that's the beauty of going against the resistance and fighting the urge to quit, fighting the urge to not listen to your brain. And just because I acted, does that mean that I have all the answers? And does that mean that you will find all the answers? No, actually, life will remain like one big question. You'll just kind of figure out that the results that you want all come down to you, to how much and how willing you are, like to how much energy you put into it and how far you are willing to go and what you are willing to do with it. It all comes down to yourself. You are the leader. You are the master of your own life. And we have to acknowledge that. And life will throw like all these challenges down your path and wants to see how far are you willing to go for this? And that's for you to decide how far you are willing to go this by the action that you take when everything becomes difficult. I hope you've been able to get something out of this video. Let me know in the comment section what you thought. Like, subscribe, do whatever you want. Send it to your auntie, send it to your grandparents. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you have to remember that you are 100% responsible for the results in your life. Make the hard decision today, and I'll see you in the next one. All right? Bye-bye.